All right, so back to the car after the hike. I'm gonna do a little recap. So we hiked, or I, by myself. There was other people on the trail, but I hiked the Kalawahine trail to the Pauoa Flats trail, and then out to the end where the lookout is, the Nu'uanu lookout. So back at the car now. So this is what I was talking about the shoes. So my shoes are all muddy now, but you've got the flip-flops that I'll change out, put my muddy shoes in the bag, and then put the flip-flops on. So on the trail, what did we see? I found the purple bamboo orchid. Lots of white-rumped shama birds, Japanese white-eye bird. Found some strawberry guava and some pink guava. But, oh, the water bottle. I talked about the water bottle. So it was actually raining when I started out, so it was pretty cool. So I didn't drink very much water. I had 2 bottles of water, but I only brought one with me. But this is what I was talking about with the collapsible water bottles. So with the lid off, you can crush it down flat, put the lid on so that the air doesn't come back in, and then there. So when you're hiking and you're done with your water bottle, you can crush it like that, put it in your pocket, and then no worries. So I'm going to be doing a trail today. This is a pretty easy trail, and there's actual parking right there. When I decided to do this today, I didn't realize that it would be raining up here, but it's just misting, so it's not too bad. So the name of the trail that we're going to be doing is Kalawahine, which means the day of the woman. You see the brown sign coming up on the right. That's another trail that leads down to the nature center. It hooks up with the Makiki trail. So you can see the path right there. And then there's the marker, and it goes down in there. Nahuina trail. So we go over the 1-lane bridge. So this tree here with the shiny leaves and the shiny bark, that's strawberry guava. When that's in season, they mix little red guavas that are like the size of a cherry. And when you get one that's like really ripe, it actually tastes like a strawberry. So looking down this way, looking towards Tantalus Lookout, and then there's Diamond Head. So this trail in addition to the strawberry guava, also has the real guavas, the yellow ones that are pink inside, that are about the size of a golf ball. So looking that way, there's Tripler, the pink hospital, Tripler Hospital. Whoa, look at the fog coming down through that valley. And then there's a rainbow down here. I don't know if you guys can see the rainbow. There's a rainbow down there in the valley. And then there's Pearl Harbor over there. You can see the rainbow. Oh, that would make a cool picture. Oh, come on, iPhone. All right, I'm going to take this out of 4K. All right, we're in 1080p now. My laptop has been having a hard time processing 4K videos. So there's some parking over here, but whatever. So here's the trailhead. So this road says not to go up it, but if you go up the Ohia Lehua trail, it ends up crossing this road at the very top. So here is the trailhead, Kalawahine Trail. And it's pretty easy. It's mostly flat, just a little bit of up and down, so no substantial elevation gain. See, even those old ladies can do this. I've actually seen them coming down here and going into the bushes and picking things that I think they then take down to Chinatown and sell. There's a lot of ginger on this trail, and I don't know if that ginger is edible, but there's a sign telling people not to pick it in a certain area because there's an endangered snail that lives there that I guess, you know, relies on the ginger root or something. Oh, I was just thinking about the orchids that grow back here, but it's not this trail. It's a couple of trails over. It's on the side trail off of the Pauoa trail. There's a side trail, and there's a certain spot in there where during a certain season there's these really beautiful orchids, and they're just all over. So these green bushes that are kind of hanging down here, those are ginger, yellow ginger or white ginger, but they're out of season right now. You can see where the flowers would have been, but now it's just the brown left over. So we're almost to the bench. There's a bench up here. Oh, a new tree fall. Makes for a cool archway. And then there is a really cool archway further in that's been there for a while. So here's the strawberry guava trees. It's these ones with the smooth bark. So not the rough bark here, but the smooth bark here and the shiny leaves. So that's strawberry guava. That's a big one right there. Lots of fern. There's a place way further up on this trail where there's a whole bunch of cinders from the volcanic crater that's up above us to the right. The Tantalus crater and the Pauoa crater. So the cinders are kind of like that. You can see it in the side of the hill here, but the place that I'm talking about, there's just layers and layers of it. And it was cool because I first found those while I was taking a geology class at college, and so I was able to bring some in as examples to the class. It was geology of the Hawaiian Islands. Oh, here's the bench. Wow, that's looking really worn out. Used to be able to sit right here and then you had a really good view of Pearl Harbor and stuff, but this tree has grown over and it's kind of blocking the view now. But yeah, so there's the bench. So next will be the archway. I haven't been on this trail in a couple of years. Although I see lots of kukui nuts in the mud. Wow, that's all strawberry guava up there. Those trees like that, that's strawberry guava. So those are big trees, older trees.
Hi.
Hi. You hear the bird. That's a white-rumped shama. I usually talk back and forth with them. Whoa, that's way down there. Those birds seem to change their song like on a yearly basis or something, because I'll learn their song and then like the next year they've changed it. So this trail is usually pretty dry. It's on the west facing side of the hill, so it gets the afternoon and evening sun. So on the ginger plants, you see this ugly brown part here. This is where the flowers used to be. Oh, look at the ferns. Oh, here's the place I was talking about the snails. Caution, native snail habitat. Please, kukua. Do not cut or disturb plants. Do not collect snails. Do not cut ginger and lay in wet areas. This does not allow the trail to dry out. Okay, so snail habitat. And what's funny is not too much further up the trail than there's the sign facing the other direction. So it seems like it's a really small area where these snails are living. I haven't seen any snails. I haven't stopped to try to find one though. Oh, look at these ferns. So here's the other sign for the snails. So yeah, it's just that small area. Notice native snail habitat, please Kakua, do not cut or disturb plants, do not collect snails, do not cut the ginger. Oh, we're starting to get the cinders. See the cinders. So you see the cinders here. It gets this the direct sunlight and it bleaches it out like this. It's kind of weird. But here you can see the layers. They're down sloping because the crater is up above us, and so it's sloping downhill. So actually the last time that I was here, these trees here must have grown up more, because this used to get a lot of the direct sunlight and it really bleaches them out. And it's curious to see the cinders in different sizes. Here you've got them like the size of a marble, and then up here it's finer, and then it's thicker again. But you can see that the layers pile up vertically like this at an angle going down the slope of the hill. And then the cinders are coming out onto the trail now, and so it's like really kind of crunchy. But as they get exposed to the elements, the air and the sunlight, they degrade and turn more into like soil. There's also places on this trail where you'll find lava balls, lava bombs that are about the size of a softball. So those would have been chunks of lava that got spewed out of the crater. So here's more of the cinders with the ferns growing on it. And again, you can see the layers going down at an angle. How's it? So look at this gap in the layers here, and the root is kind of taking advantage and crawling in there. So these craters, like Pauoa and Tantalus crater, are younger craters. So the why? Oh, look how big the cinders are here. They're like bigger than a marble now. But so these little craters like Pauoa and Tantalus and Ka'au crater, and so they're younger than the volcano. The Ko'olau volcano was formed 2 million years ago. The Waianae volcano was formed 3.5 million years ago. But then you got a resurgence of lava that came back to this island after the hotspot had moved on to form the islands of Molokai and Maui. For some reason, some lava came back to this island and made these small craters that punched up through. And so these craters are only tens of thousands of years old compared to the rest of the mountain that they're on, which is 2 million years old. You let this dog go by. Hi. Hey, that's man-made. Some kind of pit. I've never noticed this before. There must have been a tree here or something that was blocking it. That is strange because those stones are in there, but it's under the natural layer. So look at this shelf. Wow, it's like an entrance right there too. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, hey, a little side trail. I've never noticed that before either. Oh, it almost looks like there's a lookout over there. You can see light. You gotta be careful going down these side trails like this, because this is where people like grow their drugs. Oh wow, this is kind of well traveled. Looks like it goes downhill, probably to the Nu'uanu Trail, which goes down to the Jackass Ginger Falls on the Judd Trail. Well, that's a find there. Oh, here's the archway. It was further than I thought. Further than I remembered. So that's a banyan tree, all those crazy roots. It's also known as a strangler fig. big rock. Looks like maybe the pigs have been rooting in there. Either that or that's just the trail maintenance guys. So yeah, these trails are maintained by the Kalawahine trail access program. So there are guys that come with chainsaws and stuff, and whenever there's trees that are falling across the path, they'll cut them out of the way and stuff like that. Well, the rain stopped. You hear the different kinds of birds in here. So we had the white-rumped shama there at the beginning, and then we had the red-vented bulbuls. You could hear them, and now I'm hearing the little green birds, the Japanese round eye or white eye. It's got a white circle around its eye. Japanese white eye. Fidgety little bird, man. They never stay in one place. Really hard to get a picture of. The red vented bulbuls, though, you'll see those in Waikiki. Like if you have a outdoor dining area, they come and get the crumbs at the table. So the leaves on the ground here, the sickle-shaped leaves, that's from a koa tree. So where's the koa tree? Oh, there it is. That's a koa tree right there. So this tree right here, that's koa. So that tree is actually native to Hawaii, and it's a hardwood. So it's a very beautiful wood. They use it for ornamental things like bowls. The kings used to use it for surfboards, and lately it's been popular to be used as, oh, here's another one, used as inlay for jewelry like rings and pendants and fancy pens. So you can see the sawdust here where these guys have cut just from there to there. So yeah, this is one of the trails that my tour company would have access to. There are 7 hiking trails that are maintained by Kalawahine that we can get a permit for through DLNR, Department of Land and Natural Resources. Look at this gulch. Look how high that wall is right there. That's just solid rock. It's pretty crazy. But our tours, we do private custom tours, and the people that do our tours are not the type that want to get out and do a hike through the mud like this. generally just like to sit in the van and look out the window and make a couple of stops at lookouts. So I had the permit for a while, and I think we only had 1 or 2 people that we used the permit for. So I just didn't bother renewing it. But if more people were interested in doing this, I could always renew it again. And so then that allows us to take the tourists hiking on 7 trails. But we kind of have to know in advance, because we have to go online and make the reservation. So at a minimum, like 1 day in advance. And then the fee isn't that much. It's like $1 a person or something, but it's basically just to ensure that there's not a ton of people showing up at the same trail. Okay, we're at a junction. So to the right, it goes up and over to the Manoa Cliffs Trail, which is a pretty cool trail that goes along the cliffs overlooking Manoa Valley. They've got new signage in here that's pretty nice. So we drove up this way, and you see Kalawahine Trail starts right here. So we parked right there, started the trail there, and so we're here now. And so this trail to the right goes up and over. It joins with the Pauoa Trail that I was talking about and the Manoa Cliffs Trail. This is Manoa Valley over here. So this trail goes along the edge and you're looking down into Manoa Valley. So we're here. So we'll continue ahead to the Pauoa Flats Trail. And then that goes out to a lookout that you can look down into Nu'uanu Valley. Nu'uanu Valley. And then over here is the Aihualama Trail that goes down to Manoa Falls Trail, which goes back to the parking lot over there by the Lion Arboretum. So, Kalawahine Trail continuing on. There's guava. There's one there and there's one in there. Oh, there's some back here too. It's a big one. Oh, you can see smashed ones here too. Look at the size of that guava. So it's obviously coming from a tree that's overhead or up. I was gonna say earlier that sometimes when I'm hiking this trail, these things are literally falling out of the tree and rolling across the path in front of me. And since they've been on the dirt, what I do is, here, I'll show you. I'll set up this tripod and I'll show you. So it's on the ground, so you know it's got mud all over it, but it's still good inside, right? As long as this hasn't been on the ground for too long, because the gnats get to them and the gnats will burrow into them. I thought I saw a hole in this one, but so what I do is I just take my thumb and just break it open. Well, that one broke the other direction, but oh, that smells so good. Wow. So you see the pink? And then what I do, I'm not going to do it on this one because this one's obviously been on the ground for a while, but then I'll just go like that and just use my teeth and scoop it out and just eat the inside. But look at that. All right, now my hands are muddy. Oh, I've got this water because it's raining and it's cool. I haven't even opened it yet. And it's just been a weight in my pocket. Trying to open it without getting it all muddy. So this will lighten up my bottle since I'm probably not going to drink it all anyway. But there we go. So this brand may not be the best tasting water, but this bottle, once I'm done, I can crunch it down flat and it'll be that thick and I can put it in my pocket. The secret to that is you crunch it down without the lid on it. Once you get it crunched, you put the lid back on. That way the air can't get back in so that it doesn't expand again. In my cargo shorts, I keep it in the side pocket here. Right. Continuing on. Hopefully we'll find some more guava. These are strawberry guava trees. These are really dark. The bark is really dark. It's got moss growing on it. We're on the north side of the hill now. Starting to sprinkle again. Oh, so you see these rocks in here? Those are what I was talking about, the lava bombs. Maybe we'll be able to pick some up in a little bit where it's not so muddy. All these fallen trees might be from that big windstorm that we had in December. We had like 50-mile-an-hour winds. All the trees up on the North Shore that are facing the ocean, where the wind would have been coming out of the north, all of the leaves and branches are dead on the north facing side of it because they got just twisted and broken. So pretty soon we should be coming up to the junction of the Pauoa Flats trail. I've got one battery left. This is on yellow right now. It's on 35%, but I've got another battery. And the path back is the same way, so I won't record the path back because it'll just be repetitive. These trails connect in several different ways, so you can connect some of them together so that you don't have to do the same path back. Like if I would have taken that right turn where those guys went up to the Manoa Cliffs Trail, that actually comes back down to the Tantalus Round Top Road, but then you have to walk like 3/4 of a mile to get back to your car along the roadside. Actually, from the Manoa Cliffs Trail head to the trailhead for the one where we started at, there's a road closure that's been there for like 2 years. But I think if you went down the middle one, the Pauoa Trail, you'd be able to walk back to our trailhead on the road. We're getting a little bit of uphill now. I'm so out of shape. I haven't hiked. I can't remember the last time. Some more sawdust. Getting closer to the flats. Oh, the pigs have been digging in here. See how this is flattening out. So that's where we just came from. All right, so we're at another junction. So we started here, started there, and we're now here. And so this trail goes to the right, back up to the Manoa Cliffs Trail, or to the left to the Pauoa Flats Trail out to the lookout that overlooks Nu'uanu Valley. And you see there's a bunch of trails and they all interconnect. So you can plan it out so that you can do like a circle route. You can get a map. If you Google Makiki Trail System, there's a map that has all the trails on it, and then there's a legend that tells you the distance, how long each trail is. So, you know, if you decide that you want to do 5 miles, you can look at that and then link together enough trails to do 5 miles, or 3 miles in and 3 miles back, whatever you want to do. This path helps out a lot because these roots down here are really hard to walk on. Oh, it's like Christmas berries. So, some of you might remember from the movie Blue Lagoon, when they decide they're stranded on the island, and they decide after being there for so long that they're going to set out in their little boat and just hope to find land. And oh, you can see the pigs have been digging there. So when they stocked their supplies in the boat, they brought some of the Christmas berries because their father, who had passed away by then, had warned them not to eat them because he called them never wake up berries. So they brought the berries in case they were out at sea for so long that they just wanted to give up and eat the berries and go to sleep forever. Another junction. This must be the Nu'uanu Trail. Yeah, Nu'uanu Trail. That leads down to the Judd Trail by Jackass Ginger Falls, where the Norfolk Pines are. So yeah, not a lot has changed. So yeah, you see, it's been years since I've hiked up here, but I've done it so much that I have the trails pretty much memorized. Now we get to the hard part, walking through these roots. I don't think we have much further to go to reach the junction for the Aihualama Trail. And then these routes won't be as bad after that. See, are these paper trees? You see the bark of these trees over here on the right. It peels off like papyrus. So, call them paper trees. See how that peels off? They're mushy too. So we call them paper trees. Oh, we're getting into the bamboo. The Ihualama Trail, when you're hiking up from Manoa Falls, there's a section there where it kind of goes off and curves a little bit, and it makes for a really nice picture of the trail with the bamboo. And the green bamboo kind of reminds me of the Emerald City in The Wizard of Oz. There's two massive banyan trees right next to each other on the Ihualama Trail. And one time back in like the when I was in my 20s, so this would have been like in the 80s and 90s, me and my brothers were hiking that trail, and someone had a rope on the banyan trees, but the banyan trees were growing on the side of a hill that went downhill from the trail. So when you swung out on the rope, when you got to the apex of the pendulum swing, you were over the tops of other trees that were below you. So the fall would have been like 1,000 feet. So you had to make sure that you hung on. And then when you swung back to the place that you took off from, there's all these roots, and they're all running like that downhill. And so you can't get your footing because you step on them and you just want to slide downhill. So, all right, so here's the junction. The Ihualama Trail to the right leads down to Manoa Falls. It's a really twisty, a whole bunch of switchbacks, but it's downhill from here. And then this one goes to, oh, they're actually calling it Nu'uanu Lookout now. So straight ahead, that one goes to Manoa Falls. That's the way we just came. So Manoa Falls that way, we're going to the lookout this way. And then there's this massive tree up here that has like 3 main branches to it. It reminds me of, what was it, Romancing the Stone, where they were looking for the marker called El Diablo or something like that. And it was like a 3-pronged cactus. So look at this. All right. Oh, there's no wind today. Normally, especially Nu'uanu Valley is famous for its winds. You know that if you go to the Pali Lookout, you get like 35 to 50 mile an hour winds coming up over the hill, and then it blows down through Nu'uanu Valley. And so as you get to the end of this trail, there's some power lines, and before you get to the end of the trail, you can hear the power lines humming in the wind. Well, this is nice. The boards weren't here before, because this trail gets really muddy because it opens up to the valley, and the wind and the rain just come washing through here. Yeah, because look at how muddy that would have been. You can see where people had laid bamboo sticks down to try to help. Look at that, it's the guy's way. Oh yeah, so like this.
And low-key my shoes. I think the shoe clean on the way back. Yeah, that's what I did. Tarzan that shit.
So when you grab onto this bamboo, you got to be careful not to grab onto the joint, because there's a furry material that has thorns in it. It gets into your hand. It's like fiberglass. wow, look at this. So this is why you should bring 2 pairs of shoes. So I wore my flip-flops to drive here, and then I changed from my flip-flops to these old tennis shoes because I know they're gonna get muddy, right? So and then I have a bag, just one of those reusable bags that you get at the store in my car, that whenever I get back to the car, I'll take these off and put them into the bag and switch back to my flip-flops. Or you can bring a plastic bag to just take your shoes off and put them into the bag. And all right, I just had to switch batteries. I'm almost to the end of the trail, but I was just talking about the red mud here, that your shoes are going to be muddy. And because of the red mud here, whatever shoes you wear hiking will forever be your hiking shoes, because they will be ruined, because the red mud here permanently stains. As a matter of fact, there's a t-shirt company that has taken advantage of that. It's called Red Dirt Shirts, and so they have purposely stained the t-shirts in the red mud, and then they sell them as Hawaii Red Dirt Shirts. So your shoes are going to be ruined, and so those just become your hiking shoes from now on. And so I was saying that when you're going hiking, bring 2 pairs of shoes, even if one of those is just flip-flops. So I wore my flip-flops to drive down here, and then I changed into the tennis shoes to go hiking, and then whenever I get back, I'll change out of the muddy shoes back into my flip-flops. And then I have a bag, like a plastic bag or a bag for life that you're not using, to put your muddy shoes into when you get back into the van. But yeah, bring a pair of flip-flops and then whatever shoes you plan to hike in. These are old shoes that the rubber is actually falling off of the bottom of them. So these are kind of like throwaways. They're old Nikes that I've had for years. But yeah, in Hawaii, when you go hiking, you don't need like hiking boots. Like a lot of people in the mainland, like when they go mountain hiking, they have these really rugged hiking boots. Those are going to be heavy and hot. And so you don't really need something like that. I mean, it's not like you're going to be climbing over boulders and stuff that you need traction for. It's mostly like this, mostly walking in the mud. So, and when you get to a place like that, sometimes it's better or safer to just walk through the middle. Don't try to climb up onto the rocks or the branches, because they get mud on them and then they become slippery, and then you slip, and then you're slipping from a height and you fall. So it's better to just walk through the mud, because your shoes are going to get muddy anyway. I mean, look at my shoes already. So, and that was, you know, trying to avoid the mud. So it's safer to just walk through the mud than to try to climb up on top of boulders and branches, because then you can slip from a height and then your fall is worse. You see how slippery that gets when it gets wet and muddy. Almost to the end. So this is about the place that you would normally start to hear the power lines buzzing in the wind, but there's no wind today. Wow, this is crazy. Oh, it's a strawberry guava. There's a strawberry guava. So that's not it, that's Christmas berry. Where's the tree? Oh, that's a strawberry guava tree there. Oh, so is that. But that's a strawberry guava. There's another one. And another one, another. Oh, so the trees must be here. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of little ones in there. But there's strawberry guava. There are some restaurants here that are using the guava trees as their firewood for cooking in the restaurant, like for a pizza oven or something. And they're touting themselves as being good for the environment because the guava trees are not indigenous to Hawaii, and the people in Hawaii are, you know, like kind of against plants that are not indigenous from Hawaii. They want to like take out all the ones that are not indigenous and plant ones that are indigenous. But most of the trees here are not indigenous to Hawaii. I've shown you like one that is, and that's the koa tree. And so if you look at pictures of these places from like 100 years or more ago, it's just low scrub brush. And then, oh, I mean, you don't even recognize it because you don't have these big trees covering the land. The banyan trees and the monkey pod trees, those are all brought here just over 100 years ago. Oh, there's an orchid. It's a purple orchid. This is not the kind of orchid that I was talking about at the other spot though. But there's an orchid that just grows wild here in Hawaii. About 12 years ago, I brought my daughter hiking up here and I found one of these for her. So I have a picture of her wearing it. I had to climb down the hill in order to reach it. So here's the lookout. Hi. Oh, the humidity. Oh, it just hits you like a wall.
Usually this area is very cool.
Yeah, that humidity is right?
Yeah, I got the blast of hot humidity, but then there's a little bit of a cool breeze coming too.
I don't feel that. Yeah,
yeah, just at the edge.
Ah, now you can feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, now you can feel it. Good. I like him. Right? Yeah,
So-
I didn't feel it until you just mentioned that.
Back when I was in my 20s, we hiked from Manoa Falls up and over and came down this trail.
Oh, really?
It was crazy.
Oh, this is shit. What's the name of this one? This is dangerous.
Yeah, that one goes to
Olamana.
it goes to Mount Olympus.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, not Olamana. That's the
Yeah.
one in Kailua. But this goes to Mount Olympus. But we didn't go that way.
Yeah.
We came up Manoa Falls and then came this way.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's still dangerous, right?
Well,
Too
especially
old to do
since
that.
there's one part when you get to the top of the falls that in order you have to go up another rock cliff where there's no trees, and there's a tree at the top of the rock cliff that has a root that somebody ties a rope to that hangs down the rock cliff. And so you go up that rope not knowing if it's going to break.
Yep. Yeah, because I seen,
Yeah, there's some dude that has a YouTube channel and he does all his hikes out here, right? And yeah, it's pretty, right? But
Yeah.
you take your chances if you want to get a nice view. Sometimes it's blocked by clouds.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get it, but some of them you're risking your damn life. Like it's
So that's the reservoir.
untoward.
Yeah.
That's where our drinking water comes from.
Yep.
It looks really small and overgrown.
Yeah, it's cool though. Not a bad hike today.
I've seen videos where
Expecting it worse.
people jump off of that thing at the end into the water, but I mean
Yeah, the
there's
tower.
like land under it now, so it's like the water level is way lower than normal.
Yeah, I can't remember paying much attention to that.
And then the house down there where the red roof is, to the right of that is where the ruins of King Kamehameha III summer palace and Lauaki Falls.
So you know a lot about these trails, then,
Yeah.
right? So Kalawahine, do you know about that little brick oven looking thing?
You know
down
what?
there?
That's the first time I've seen it. I've hiked this trail many times and I've never seen it before until
Really?
now.
People have asked me, and I'm like, I have no idea, but I'm very
I saw
curious
great.
what that is.
Yeah,
'Cause
what
we
was really
usually
interesting
do
about it
Kalawahine to-
was that there was the natural layer on the top, and then those stones were under the natural layer, so it's like they stuck them back in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and you don't see. I haven't seen anything on like the Tantalus Trailways interactive map.
All right, so I was telling you guys about the purple orchid that I picked for my daughter. I had to climb down the hillside. This is the exact same spot where I picked it from. I don't think I had to go quite that far, but it was just out of my reach where I had to step down like 1 or 2 steps. But so this is where I picked the purple orchid. I just looked it up on Picture This. It's called a bamboo orchid. All right, just finished my Snickers. Gonna start heading back. So this is the end of the trail. You're looking down into Nu'uanu Valley. So that's looking through to Kaneohe and Kailua over there. Right over there where the hill kind of comes straight down right there, there's a little hole called the Palipuka that people like to climb up to. And then over here, just where the clouds are hanging down, just behind that is the Pali Notches. Down here is the reservoir. It's one of the places where we get our drinking water from, but the reservoir seems really low right now. And then there's some spots down here that are kind of secret that I guess I shouldn't tell you about, but right in there is the parking lot where people park to go to the, is it this valley? Yeah, I guess it is this valley. It goes back to a waterfall. Maybe behind that ridge right there, into there, there's a waterfall back there. Something Mahu Falls, Lulu Mahu Falls. But the start is on the Pali Highway there. You'll see a place where people are parking, and then the trail goes kind of through there, and then maybe it follows this stream right here, and then into that really narrow gulch back there. So I'm going to start heading back, and it's going to be mostly repetitive, so I'm not going to bother to record on the way back unless I find something interesting. You can hear at least 3. There's one right here. There's one back here. And then there's another one back in there. Oh, he just landed right there. Up there he goes. So it has the red breast, and then he's black with a white patch on his back, and that's why it gets the name white rumped shama. They're from India. So he's all right, onward. Got a mosquito flying in my face. So this is a white rumped shama. All right, so this is the end of the trail. This is the way that I came. This last part here is uphill, so that's why I'm a little out of breath now, but here's the end of the trail. I'm using my iPhone now. I guess when I put my GoPro in my pocket, I forgot to turn it off or something because the battery is dead now, so I'm using my iPhone. But here's the end of the trail. Coming back out to the road. So there's more sun out now. And then there's Diamond Head. And so I'm gonna go back to the car and do a recap. This is where we were earlier, where the rainbow was right down here.